Hello, welcome to the Notorious DID. This is Solara. Today I thought I would make a video about something that occurred for the first time. Me and my daughter went this evening, well, by now it's yesterday evening. I'm recording this at 3:09 in the morning because I am a night owl and crazy. But not because of DID though. So just watch it. Okay. I am talking about, we went to see The Batman with Robert Pattinson. It was actually pretty good. I would recommend it. It is 3 hours long almost, however, so set it aside for a day when you have plenty of time to go watch a movie. The plot stays steady and it keeps you busy, so there's no downtime within it, which I was worried about with a movie being that long. It does keep you entertained and it keeps you going. So, and this is coming from somebody who does not like Batman per se. Never have. Love superheroes. Have always loved comics, personally myself. But do not genuinely like Batman most of the time. If I'm being honest, I'm not even a real big fan of Robert Pattinson. However, his portrayal of Batman was very good. It actually didn't make me feel Batman was whiny or annoying. It was realistic, and definitely recommend you going and seeing it. I actually, in a way, did like his Batman. So the Batman, the new 2022, I don't know where I am today, 2022 movie, go see it. Really good movie. And has an excellent cast as well. While we were watching the movie, one thing that concerned me and took place for the very first time. Now, take into account, we have in the past had some issues with blinking lights in the standard of seizure mode, triggering some seizure activity, or having to be careful and like close our eyes to not have any seizure activity triggered or manifest. This is, a standard for people that encounter seizures. It can be a trigger. It's known to be a trigger. However, let me lead up to it, okay? There are a lot of times within the Batman, the movie, where there are a lot of flashing lights. They have a lot of flashing lights, they have a lot of bright lights, and it was not just the flashing lights, oddly enough, it was also when they would show some bright lights. Like this one particular scene, there was an extremely bright light that they focused on with his motorcycle, and it triggered it as well. What did it trigger? Well, we are sitting in the movie theater with our daughter, and it triggered switching. Yeah, it triggered switching. It did not trigger a seizure, thank God, because we're in the middle of all those people, and with the seizures that we have, as I've mentioned prior, they're not standard seizures. However, people love to panic and rush us to a hospital, and that is not necessary. Within all those people, that would have been a train wreck for us. So, no, we did not have a seizure. Yes, we did have switching. So, each time there was extremely bright lights or lights flashing, we had a switch episode. That's the best way to describe it. So I, Solara, go in with my daughter. We sit down. The first is bright flashing lights, and I switch out. Not intentionally, not even the normal way. Just pretty much my eyes just pretty much started rolling back up into my head, and I personally thought that we were going to go into seizure mode, but we did not. It switched into Val. So Valpray took over for a short instance, and then it switched back for me. Then I was back trying to figure out what in the hell really had just happened. And this took place several times. During the one time, the switch was into Lara. The switch at another time was into Freedom. And so we have 4 of our alters, including me, switching. Literally, as we would communicate with our daughter throughout the movie, she said later, she's like, I noticed that you were different. I noticed because obviously she can tell when Valpray's there, she has that thick accent that nobody can friggin' understand. At least I can't. Let's put it that way. Thick accent. So she said, I knew something was going on, but I didn't know what. Because later on I told her after we had left the movie and everything else. I didn't bother to tell her anything, obviously, then, because we're watching the movie, no matter who we are, and my daughter's watching the movie continuously as herself. So I didn't want to ruin her experience with the movie. At one point, even worse, one of our alters that does not speak English, I could feel, I don't know if I went temporarily co-con with them or what, but I could feel that they were trying to switch out with me, and that would have been a friggin' train wreck. We are in the middle of a bunch of people, and if somebody comes in that cannot speak English and there's no telling really what awareness they're going to have, I don't know. All I know is I could just think, oh God, they're not going to speak English. They're going to be speaking another language. Are they going to panic? What's going to happen? Because they're sitting in a dark room and all the rest of it. I don't know. Luckily, I hear Solara, and I hear Laura. I'm sorry. Oh my God, it was so confusing. Obviously, I am still so friggin' confused. It makes no sense. So I heard Laura at the back, where we usually stay when we're not up front, and she said something. She was trying to get it to not get the altar to not come forward, because she too knew that could be a really bad situation. And as you know, Laura is the protector of our system, so she automatically kicked into gear, and I guess she stopped that person or changed their mind or whatever, but that would have been really, really rough. It was bad enough that there were 4 of us switching, almost like rapid switching, because of the flashes and the bright lights. And nobody could tell that, though, because we weren't being loud about it or anything else other than communicating with our daughter about it so often. Not specifically about it, but communicating with our daughter about the movie. So I'm hoping this is not something that is new, that is going to be continuous. I'm hoping it was a fluke. I am really, really hoping it was just a fluke, because there are so many circumstances where there can be extremely bright lights, or there are so many circumstances where there can be flashing lights. Now, I already know I have to be careful with that. But even with closing my eyes, because of the movie theater being so dark and the screen being so large, the blinking was obvious even through your eyelids. So another component that is not pleasant. And given the circumstance, it wasn't a major catastrophe because it was a dark room and we were not visibly switching. But if this took place in the middle of a different circumstance, it could be really bad. That is one thing that has to do with DID. It can be really bad for you, confusing for other people, and it can be bad for you because of this confusion with other people, with switching constantly or switching in public and things of this nature. So, just wanted to share that with you. I appreciate you listening to us. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell so that you can share our journey with DID. Whether you have DID or you know someone that does have DID, it's important to keep learning and being aware. We definitely are always learning. This is a huge learning curve called DID. And it's rough. It's really rough. But thank you again. This has been the Notorious DID. This has been Solara. Bye.